Hey everybody, Jason Sherman here. In today's episode of Zero to CEO, I speak with innovative AI leader and marketer Michael Walker. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jason. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And today we're going to talk about AI's influence on the 2024 election. Hot topic, man. I mean, so much has been happening, right? The last couple of years. I mean, we could just have a whole episode on that alone. But in this case, the 2016 election, there was a lot of AI stuff going on there too, and that's like years ago. So let's just kind of hit it off with how you think AI is changing the way elections are run in 2024.
Yeah, it's a great question, and it probably be easier to answer. How is it not? Right?
Hmm.
I don't know if look, I've done I think probably a dozen radio shows, podcasts similar on this same topic, just because I think it's a responsibility of individuals like yourself and me who maybe know a little bit more about AI and how it's used versus the general public when it comes to the election. I would say there's two main areas, and I'm sure we'll maybe dive into each one a little bit deeper. But number one is just general sentiment analysis, right? And this is something that could be used in a very positive way. So, just as an example, like large scale sentiment analysis could be used by a political candidate or even someone in office to kind of soft launch an idea out into the public and see, does this resonate with people? Do they like it, not like it? And that could be used directly or indirectly, right? So I could hire a firm who has nothing to do with Michael Walker's name specifically to put out an idea of UBI, universal basic income, or universal health come and test the waters, right? What does it look like? But on the flip side, it can be used for very nefarious reasons,
Yeah.
right? You could do sentiment analysis for, I mean, I don't want to give any ideas negatively out there, but things that could be very harmful to people, to certain groups of people, and see like, is there a base for this kind of rotten ideology or thought, and spread that. So that's one main area, and the second one you mentioned that like we saw in 2016 are just these mass troll farms, right?
Yeah.
Where you can go out and take this targeted info and spread it like at an insane rate. So those are two things I think that
Yeah.
people just should be
Yeah.
more
Because,
mindful of.
like, I think about it, and, if I go back to 2016 and then, of course, fast forwarding to the 2020s with tools like ChatGPT and the plethora of AI generation tools and video generation tools, you got Midjourney and Dolly and Runway ML, and there's so many things out there. You can literally spin up political campaigns,
Right.
imagery, videos. I mean, we've seen them. They're all over the internet, right? People are literally posting, Donald Trump eating a dog or something, like it's crazy stuff, right? And the fact is that people need to know what's real and what's fake, and that's becoming increasingly more difficult. So is this where like maybe a campaign might need an AI advisor to help them kind of navigate the waters? Tell me about AI advisors and how they can help.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be shocked. So neither campaign, at least as far as I know so far, has admitted to actively using or even sort of testing artificial intelligence in their campaign.
Wow.
I could bet my life savings that they absolutely are, right? That there are
Me
firms
too,
that no
man.
one's
Me
heard
too.
of, right? Where they've got, how many umbrella companies, and eventually you trace it back. So without a doubt, they are. I think it would be in the public's best interest if there were advisors, because then you can have, you could create boards, governing bodies, right? Where
Accountability.
there's exactly, and there's ethical considerations and moral considerations for the general public. So I think it's a must. I think it's something that we should demand, and if not this election, then absolutely the next and moving forward.
So, like, the thing that I wanted to know, and I saw this happen when like Russia interfered with the elections and like really kind of made people think a certain way and then vote a certain way. That's dangerous. But how does AI in particular influence voters to behave in a certain way? Because I'm wondering,
Mhm.
we're about to vote. It's coming up in less than 2 months. What should we be looking out for? How is AI potentially influencing our decision?
Yeah, I'll answer the first part of that question is sort of how could you influence? I'll give you just one rough example. Let's say I wanted to target a group of people to push a hateful ideology upon them. What I can do is this large scale data analysis that says, hey, all the people who I know currently adhere to this hateful ideology, here are the 3 or 4 things they have in common. That's all algorithmic, right? Which means that I can now then go out and I can do it via even paid advertising on something like Facebook that seems not harmful at first, where I can gather a group, right? I can bring them into one area and then spread this ideology. But I can also do AI can tell you where do these people spend their time, what websites do they go to, right? Like what pages do they follow on
So like
Facebook? Like
super
it's
hyper focused.
exactly. And then I can spread almost anything that I want. And then what you should look out for, and this is what I tell everybody, just diversify your sources of information,
Mm.
right? Because if I'm taking all my information from one page or influencer or even like social media channel, it's so easy to get stuck into just a bubble
Yeah,
of
and,
this
it's funny you
ideology.
said that because like I got to call people out on this because people send me conspiracy theories or whatever through text, and they're sending me like false information. For example, like the debate just happened, and I can't tell you how many people sent me a link showing Kamala Harris's earrings look like the Nova Bluetooth earrings. So
The speakers, yeah,
the speakers. I mean, when you looked at the Tiffany earrings she was wearing versus the other one, it's they're obviously not the same earring. And then I'm saying, where are you getting this information from? And it's like, whatever, shockconspiracy.com. I'm like, that's
right,
why. Go to like ABC News or Wall Street Journal or New York Times and then look at what the actual truth is, not
right.
this like Joe's website.com. So tell me a little bit about how, you think that people could then use AI to help them get the right information. Because that's really, I think, where we could help them make better decisions, right?
Yeah, a very quick example is if you see something like that from a website you don't know, or even one that you do and you're not sure, take it, go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I just saw this information. Here's what I'm curious about. Help me do research and see, is this legitimate? And within seconds, maybe minutes at most, it's going to go and find 3, 5+ sources that either verify or discount the information that you saw. That's something everybody can do today. Go to ChatGPT. You can get a free version and just do it that way. I would start there. Number two, though, is just be careful which mediums you get your news from. So I'll give one example. If I see that same story, let's say the Kamala Harris speaker earring thing, if I'm on Twitter and I see 1,000 accounts post the same thing, and each one has 1,000 likes and
Yeah,
retweets, I'm going to start thinking like, hey, this is like an
that's
authority
true.
bias,
Yeah,
right? Like this is an appeal to the masses. That can all be done. I can do that in 5 minutes with
with
AI.
bots.
Create a
Yeah,
story and have 1,000 bots to retweet it. So again, just be careful where the sources are and double check them and use AI like ChatGPT to help you do that.
awesome. Now I need a quick minute for a little boost. Everyone knows how much I love exploring new ways to boost productivity and keep my energy levels up. That's why I'm excited to tell you about Magic Mind, the world's first mental performance shot. I gotta tell you, it's been a game changer for me. As a creator, I've tried countless products, but Magic Mind stands out. It's not just about the boost of energy, it's about the clarity and focus that lasts throughout my day. Whether I'm working on the podcast or diving into creative projects, it keeps me in the zone. And look, I love coffee and green tea, but I crash with coffee and tea doesn't give me the boost that I need. But Magic Mind does give me that extra bit of energy and focus. Now let's talk about the power of the ingredients. Magic Mind is packed with natural ingredients, like lion's mane mushroom, bacopa manieri, and matcha, all known for their incredible benefits. These ingredients are sourced from some of the best places on earth, ensuring they're of the highest quality. For instance, the matcha used is ceremonial grade, which means it's pure and packed with antioxidants. What I love most is the brand's commitment to using only clean, top-tier ingredients. They don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. Every shot of Magic Mind is crafted with the utmost care, ensuring you're getting the best possible product. And as a thank you for joining me on my journey, I'm sharing a unique discount code available only for the first 10 orders for 40% off. Just check the description below to grab your discount and try it out for yourself. So if you're looking for something to help you stay sharp and focused, give Magic Mind a try. Trust me, it's worth it. Stay creative, stay focused, and now let's get back to our guest. And it's even more dangerous when you have people like Elon Musk posting fake AI generated videos, right? I mean, that's where things get super dangerous. So again, like I'm trying to figure out, because you're saying go to ChatGPT and use it, right? But you and I are the outliers. This is the truth, right? We're
Yeah.
like part of the 1% of the world that uses ChatGPT. Literally, probably 1%. 99% of people out there have never heard of it. Maybe they have, they've
Mhm.
never used it. They don't know what it is. They don't even know how to start using it. The only reason my girlfriend uses it is because she saw me using it years ago and kept asking me what it was and how it was working. And I taught her. And it took her almost a year after this to actually start using it, though. See, that's how long it takes, right? So you're saying, oh, just go do that and no problem. But if you if someone's watching or listening right now and they're about to vote in 2 months, what is the number one, two, three things that they should be aware of when it comes to how these tools are used against them or for them and how they can better prepare for it and literally start doing something about it? What would you tell them?
Number one is just understand that the information that you see online is most likely much more planned and thought out than you believe that it is. If you're seeing information that either confirms or completely contradicts what you believe to be true, there's a reason for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can almost guarantee that there's a thought out plan behind it, which brings me to number two. Be careful if you continue to see the same things over and over again. That's how algorithms work. They see what makes Jason engage. Is it rage bait, right? Is it academic articles? Is it philosophy? But once they figure out what that is, they're going to keep sending it to you. So be careful what you engage with, and keep in mind that that's just the nature of these platforms. And then number three, talk about it. Like you mentioned with your girlfriend, I had the same experience with my wife. I think it's guys like Jason and Michael who have a responsibility to bring more AI literacy to everybody. I am very confident by 2028, the number of people who use tools like this will be up significantly. But the only way that's going to happen is when you're out at dinner with friends, you're at lunch, you're on the golf course, whatever it is, just let somebody know, hey, if they show you an article or forward you an article, hey, did you cross-check this with ChatGPT or with other sources? And then it's going to spread. It's just like the internet, right? At first there were early adopters, and now everybody uses it. I think AI is on the same path.
Yeah, and I think part of the challenge, at least that I'm seeing, is every time I try to do that, they kind of run into a wall because knowing how to communicate with ChatGPT, prompt engineering, whatnot, it is a skill, right? And people are getting paid lots of money for that job title, prompt engineering. And I have found through running my AI company, just I'm sure you have as well for your AI company, how difficult prompt engineering actually is, scripting and getting things to work the way you want them to with these LLMs. So, how does somebody master an LLM? Forget ChatGPT. There's Gemini, Llama, there's so
Yep.
many other Perplexity. There's so many out there. Just to be good at conversing with an AI, how does somebody do that?
I would say if you're just getting started, start by just talking to the model like you're asking questions to an individual. I think if you have business use cases, then your prompt chaining and prompt engineering and the models you use for larger or smaller context windows and reasoning are important. But if you're just an individual who's getting started, I think the number one hurdle is don't be afraid of it. Go to ChatGPT, just ask it a question like you would text message a friend or ask a friend. And over time, you're going to get to understand how this system works, how I get the information I'm looking for. But to get started, you got to just get started, right? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Start there. That's
And you
that's
me-
the that's the best way.
and you mentioned like you're going to start to understand how it works, right? But we have to look at the other side of the coin too. It will also understand how you work, right?
Absolutely.
And that's part of the challenge that I tell people is it doesn't know you because you're not telling it enough about you. And sure, you're giving up your data and privacy, but that's just the way the world works. We've been giving up our data and privacy for decades with cell phones and the internet and social media, which has robbed us of our identities. So what's another thing on the list which can potentially help you dramatically in your life? So let's talk one last thing before we plug your company. What do you think is going to happen this election? Not in terms of outcome. I'm talking about like what's going to happen in the next couple months with AI in the elections. Do you foresee anything kind of pivotal or big happening where AI was a big part of it?
Well, I think in a couple of weeks we're going to have the October surprise, which anyone could your guess is as good as mine what that looks like. What you will see though, you're going to see through that October period, things are going to come to light. It's going to be, in 2016, there was the infamous recording, and there's going to be something. And what you're going to see from the other side is that's fake or that's
Of
AI.
course.
I never said this was fake. That's the rise that people need to be aware of is you almost can't even rely on audio or video recordings anymore because the immediate response by default for any politician now is going to be that's AI, right? That's out of context. They made a clone of my voice and model, and that's AI. So I think we're going to see something around that come October, and you're already kind of seeing it, right? Like you mentioned
Yeah.
the deep fakes earlier; those are everywhere. So
Crazy.
I have a feeling it's going to be less about what are they going to use AI to do, and it's more AI is now a shield. Anything that they bring up that I don't
Got it.
like, I just claim is fake through
That's a
AI.
great way to look at it because you're right. I mean, I'm seeing videos and audio recordings that are, if you're not told they're AI, you don't know they're AI because they're
Yeah.
that real. That's where things get scary for me. So you're right. Using it as a shield. That's a good way to look at it. I think that's going to happen too. And this kind of brings me to like I mentioned, we're both running AI companies. Yours is pretty intense. I saw your website. So tell us a little bit about where people can find out more about what you do, and where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. Our company is called Smith OS. It's SMYTHOS. We're an AI operating system. So for businesses or even individuals, you can bring any large language model with any web application or tool and build automated workflows. So use all the things, your favorite CRM, ESPs, combine them with any LLM, and you can create supercharged workflows. But for the majority of people, we have an academy that's totally free where we have
Hmm.
like an intro to AI, where we talk about what are LLMs, what are AI agents, where you can just sort of increase your baseline literacy. And then we have agent engineering certifications where you can learn how to build agents and think through the process of that. And it's all free. So I would recommend starting there. It's just academy.smithos.com and just go and get your feet wet a little bit, and hopefully we can help people learn a little bit more than they know today.
Nice, man. Love it. Smithos.com, guys. Check it out and try to jump into AI before the elections, right? Whether it's Smithos or any other system out there, just try something, learn something, be a part of it, because if not, you're going to get tricked and misled, right? Thanks again, Michael. This was awesome. Smithos.com, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.